The story begins in a room where silence is never truly silent. A hospice room, softly lit, suspended between presence and absence, where every breath carries weight and every passing second feels deliberate. On the bed lies Helen, her body once strong and self-assured, now frail beneath neatly folded blankets. Her mind, once sharp and decisive, dulled by illness and confusion. A faint scent of lavender oil lingers in the air, intended to soothe, yet unable to erase the sorrow woven into the room itself. Beside her sits Jessica, daughter, caregiver, keeper of a secret she carries like a stone in her chest. Her movements are gentle and precise, adjusting blankets, offering small sips of water, watching every flicker in her mother's expression as though meaning might appear and vanish in the same instant. Jessica's heart beats with a quiet urgency. She is not only tending to a failing body, but guarding a truth that threatens to surface without warning. Each time Helen stirs, each time her eyes focus, Jessica braces herself for fragments of memory, for unfinished sentences, for the name that lives unspoken between them. Helen's gaze, when it clears, holds a sorrow deeper than physical pain. It is grief, old, unresolved, echoing from somewhere far beyond the confines of the room. One afternoon, light slipping quietly through the curtains, Jessica stands a few steps away, her phone pressed to her ear, speaking in hushed tones with an estate lawyer. Behind her, Helen's fingers trace faint patterns on the white sheet, her eyes drifting toward the window. And then, almost as if speaking to the air itself, she whispers, "The river." He loved the river. Jessica's hand tightens around the phone. The river is not merely water and banks. It is laughter, family picnics, echoes of a time when innocence felt endless. Yet Helen's tone is not nostalgic. It trembles with anguish. Jessica answers carefully, voice neutral, controlled. "Yes, Mama, you used to go there often." But Helen shakes her head slowly, her frail hand fluttering as if brushing away something unseen. Not, not with him, she breathes. He shouldn't have. The sentence dissolves, replaced by a soft guttural sob that seems too large for her thin frame to hold. The unspoken name hangs in the air. Michael. His absence is not empty. It is heavy, like a shadow stretching across every corner of the room. Jessica has buried the truth of his passing deep within herself, believing silence was protection. Yet Helen's fragmented memories claw at that silence, turning it fragile. The sorrow Helen experiences is not random confusion. It is trauma resurfacing without clarity, pain remembered without context. Beyond the hospice room, tension quietly gathers. Claire enters the story like a sharp breeze through a closed door. Jessica's sister-in-law, observant, suspicious. Her visits are infrequent, yet they leave lingering unease. She often stands at the doorway, rather than stepping fully inside, her eyes sweeping over Helen with concern mixed with detachment. Claire senses inconsistencies in the story she has been told about Michael's death. She suspects something darker, perhaps self-harm, though her assumption is incorrect. Still, doubt settles within her, and doubt has a way of spreading. David, Jessica's brother, becomes a quiet figure caught between loyalties. His questions are careful, indirect, wrapped in hesitation. He wonders aloud whether their mother deserves the full truth. Jessica defends her decision fiercely, insisting she is preserving Helen's peace. Yet even as the words leave her mouth, a sliver of doubt begins to grow inside her. Is she protecting her mother or denying her autonomy? The question follows her long after conversations end. Later, alone in her car, engine turned off, the world outside muted, Jessica grips the steering wheel with trembling hands. The silence is louder here, amplifying every internal argument. She closes her eyes, seeing her mother not as she is now, but as she once was, vibrant, formidable, unwavering. She wonders whether withholding the truth is an act of love or a theft of her mother's final chance to reconcile the past. Guilt settles beside her like a constant passenger. Sleep offers no refuge, only dreams filled with accusation, unfinished conversations, and the echo of a name she cannot escape. The childhood home, familiar, unchanged in structure, yet entirely different in feeling. Rooms that once echoed with shared stories now absorb silence and unspoken resentment. The velvet armchair where their father used to read aloud stands in its usual corner, its fabric worn but intact. The faded floral wallpaper stretches along the hallway, a pattern Jessica once adored as a child, now pressing inward like invisible walls. Photographs line the mantelpiece, frozen smiles, captured moments of unity that contrast sharply with the present fracture. David moves through these rooms with a quiet heaviness. He notices everything, yet engages with nothing. Confrontation has never been his strength. Neutrality feels safer, but neutrality in this season begins to resemble surrender. He sees the exhaustion etched onto Jessica's face, the shadows beneath her eyes, the weight she carries alone. He also feels the force of Claire's certainty, her unwavering conviction pressing against him like a physical weight. Caught between them, David retreats into work, into routine, into the quiet comfort of avoidance. Evenings with his own family become refuge. He tells himself he is preserving peace, that Jessica is stronger, better equipped for the storm. Yet in still moments, when the house is silent, he feels the truth. A profound weariness, a learned helplessness, a fear of conflict disguised as calm. While David withdraws, Claire advances. Her campaign does not begin loudly. It begins with whispers, conversations held in kitchens, in phone calls, in